I clasped my hands in parting with my brothers and classmates. Because of the mouth, I hastened to cross the American Ocean. How was I to know that the Western barbarians had lost their hearts and reason? With 100 kinds of oppressive laws, they mistreat us Chinese. This anonymous Chinese poet speaks to us from 100 years ago. His poem reminds us that in the early 20th century, the Chinese Exclusion Act barred Chinese laborers from entering the United States. Additional laws barred other Asian immigrants and restricted even more, including Southern and Eastern Europeans. Back then, immigration was a contentious and complicated matter. Fast forward 100 years and not much has changed. The great debate over immigration continues today. Just recently, the state of Arizona passed a recent law that authorizes local police to detain people they suspect of being in the country illegally, and also requiring immigrants to carry papers proving their legal status at all times. There are even some senators here in the Capitol who are proposing that the US Constitution needs to be revised to deny birthright citizenship to children of undocumented immigrants. Today's headlines and opinion polls suggest that Americans are again in an anti-immigrant mood. Immigrants are seen as taking away jobs, not assimilating into American society, and being a drain on the US economy. Juxtapose this anti-immigrant view, the Chinese Exclusion Act, the Arizona law on one hand, with the popular understanding that America is a quote-unquote nation of immigrants, built by immigrants. The story of the 12 million immigrants who crossed the Atlantic Ocean, mostly from Europe, passed through Ellis Island, entered the United States, and achieved the American dream, is one of the most enduring and often told chapters in American history. But then how do these two different perspectives on immigration fit together? The Chinese Exclusion Act and the Arizona law on one hand, and the celebratory Ellis Island story on the other. Of course, in reality, the United States has always had a complicated and contentious relationship to immigration. Not all immigrants were welcomed at America's door, and not all immigrants were able to achieve the American dream. The Angel Island Immigration Station, the National Historic Landmark that is celebrating its centennial this year, helps us to tell this more complicated history. It also helps us to answer an essential and timely question. Is the United States a nation of immigrants that welcomes newcomers and helps them to achieve their dreams? Or is it something else, like a gatekeeping nation that builds fences and detention centers to keep out aliens that they deem as undesirable or even dangerous to the United States? The Angel Island story tells us that the United States is both a nation of immigrants and a gatekeeping nation. But which America immigrants encountered was determined by economics, by politics, by foreign relations, and often the newcomer's race, gender, nationality, and class.